she was not in school yet, so she had to be maybe 3.5 or 4. But she wanted to come out with us. So we took a big team of Belgians and in a sleigh, big sleigh. Just a board in the front you could kind of stand up behind. Otherwise it was just flat. And we threw the chainsaw and the gas and the oil and all that on there, and we go out there. The father drove us out away to the back fields. And Anna was, all day long, she held the horses. So we would cut a tree, we'd come down, and then she'd move the horses somewhere else where it was safe, away from just this little girl. And then, and so this is going on, and I probably cut 20, 30 big trees down for him. And it gets to be lunchtime, and we're getting ready to go in, and the daughter, Anna, the little girl, she said something to her dad. I don't know what it was, because it's in, you know, she doesn't speak English at that. They don't speak English till they're in school. And he says, okay. And he gives her the reins. And, you know, she'd been moving the horses around doing it. She obviously knew what was going on. Well, then we started up the field, and we're probably half a mile from home. It's a long field. It's kind of up and down and around and all this. She's going along, the horses are moving. And she turns to her dad, and you could just see the smile on her face and a little twinkle in her eye. And she asked him something in their language, and he just kind of nodded. And she turns around and goes, yeah! We took off like there should have been smoke coming out from their legs. I mean, he and I both had to drop on all fours so we could stay on the sleigh. And it was a big sleigh, probably 10 feet long, 6, 8 feet wide. And the chainsaws bouncing, I'm bouncing. And she's got them just in a run, all the way back up to the house. And we went over a road and up through a fence. Just amazing. I said, wow, and this is, a little one. So yeah, they learn early, and they really love to be involved with everything. And they amaze me with some of the things that they do. Another day, 2 of the older boys came down to see me. It was like a Thursday. They were both 13 or, no, it had to be, he wasn't in school. It had to be 14, and the other one was 16 then. And they each had a team of Belgians. And they wanted to cut a whole row back. There was a spot where the field went flat, and it had grown out, and then it dropped off like a bank. And they just wanted to back it off about 30 feet as far as all the trees and brush and bushes and everything. So they said, our dad is going to be gone tomorrow. Our job is to do this. Could you come over with your chainsaw? And we'll get it done quick. I go, okay. I said, you sure we're not going to make a problem here? And they said, no, it'll be okay. He'll just be glad it's done. And so I go over, and I'm using the chainsaw, and I'm dropping trees like crazy. I must have, and they were dragging the trees up to the house to burn for firewood. So they're taking everything from this size to, good-sized trees. As soon as the tree hit the ground, they'd be right there with a team of horses, throw a chain on that, and they're gone. And right up to the house, run right back, load another one, hook up another one, and away they go. As fast as I could cut them down, they were hauling them. And everything, just took the whole tree. And they were yelling. And these boys, they would run along, they'd get the horse going, and the horses, they want to hit it hard so they can get the momentum to carry them. And they're about, almost a ton each. And so when they hit it, it really gets the tree sliding. Then they want to keep it sliding and go faster. And the boys would run alongside, and then when the tree leveled out, they'd jump on the tree, the trunk, and ride the trunk up. And I'm like dying watching the first 10 trees, thinking these guys are never going to survive today. And they did it all day long. We cleared a stretch. They couldn't believe it. They got all their firewood for the whole year that day. It was an amazing day. But there's just a lot of fun things with those guys. probably one of the funniest things that I saw, like culturally. I had a cousin come from Chicago, and he's from the inner city Chicago, and his son is Hispanic. He adopted him, and a real Hispanic kid. And his best friend, his name is Kasani, is a really tall, black, inner city kid. So we got this Hispanic kid, the black kid, and the oldest daughter, one of the oldest daughters of this family was over. She was helping Cindy with something. And they got talking. And I thought, oh my God, this is like cultural worlds colliding here, you know, from hip hop to Amish. And they hit it off. These guys were just enjoying the devil out of each other because the boys were both about 20. She was, I think, 19. And they go, and they just got talking about doing different things. And I said, you know, would you guys like to shoot a gun? And they said, you know what? Our parents would let us shoot guns. We've never shot guns, but we would love to. Out here, it's a safe spot and all this. So I took some milk jugs, filled them with water, took them way down. I've got a big bank hill, and set them in front of it. And you could almost not see them from the house. It was over 1,000 yards. I said, we're going to give you a challenge here, boys. And I said, Seville, why don't you show these guys how this is done?
Oh,
I give her the gun. It's a 223. She takes that gun, hits the first one, boom, it explodes. You know? And they go, oh. And then they each in turn tried, and they eventually got them. But she got it right on the first one. I said, I knew she would do that. She's just an amazing girl. And then after that, she was going to go home, and she goes, you guys want to go for a ride? And she popped them in the buggy with her and took them for a ride up the road for about a mile. It was so darn cute. I rode in the back. They were up in the front, and just showing them how to drive. She let each of them drive, so they had an experience that they would never, ever have in Chicago. And it was just a really kind of neat experience.
Did you have to go as a chaperone?
No,
Okay.
I just wanted to go.
No, I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if she needed to be
No,
chaperoned.
no. She's really very able to take care of herself.
No, I just want the culture. I like culture.
Yeah. It probably was good that I was there for that reason, but I wouldn't have felt I needed to be there. I just wanted to be there. Yes.
I'm curious about something that's maybe out of your bailiwick.
A lot of
The
things are.
Amish market on Route 5. Do you know where it is?
What was that? The Amish? Yes, on 5. That's
Well,
Mennonite. Yeah.
But they're Mennonites. But so how can they call it an Amish market?
Well, probably a lot of the goods are Amish goods that are brought there. Yeah, that they sell.
So the Amish in some way have to give permission for use of that name.
I'm not sure how that works. It's, you know, whether they get it from Walmart or
I'm not sure it's called
somewhere
the
else.
market. It's got a different name.
Yeah, they do that. You know, they're pretty ingenious and pretty creative in their marketing and all this other stuff.
It's wonderful because you make it sound a lot more flexible than I ever thought.
Well, thank you. And I'm sorry I kind of deviated around.